Hi everybody. I hope you're all doing well today. As you can see by my thumbnail, we're going to go through my primer and setting spray collection today. But I'm also going to give you a list of some of the primers and setting sprays that I plan on purchasing in the future so that you know what I'm interested in. I'm from Florida. We live here in North Central Florida, so I hope anyone who has been through this hurricane, I hope that you're doing fine. I hope that you are safe. And if nothing else, I hope this video just distracts you. I know I've been watching a lot of YouTube the last few days, and it's helped me tremendously just to deal with the anxiety. Here in North Central Florida, we got 60 plus an hour wind gusts, and we got quite a bit of rain. There were a lot of tree branches down, a lot of debris, some minor problems with just outside windows and things like that. But thank goodness, all of our friends and all of my family, everybody's safe. And that is the most important thing. So you are all in my thoughts and my prayers. So before we get started, I just want to kind of go over a little bit of what's on my face. Today, I pulled out one of my small Naked palettes by Urban Decay. So this is what I have on my eyes today. I used this color in my crease. I darkened up the outer corner and in my crease with this. I use this color out here, and then I use this color on the inner part of my upper eyelid. Haven't used this palette in a while, and I'm going to keep it on my desk. I think I want to just use it for a few more days because I really enjoyed it. A product that is new to me is the RMS blush. This is the first product that I have purchased from RMS. I really like this inset in the back. I don't know if you can really see it well on camera, but I've wanted another cool tone bronzer. So this is Beach Walk Betty. This looks really luminous, but as you can see on my face, it's not luminous. This is a great cool tone bronzer, and I've used this for several days in a row. I'm totally in love with it. I'm so happy that I purchased something from RMS, and I want to get one of their blushes next. Lastly, as far as blush goes, I am still using the Ravi Beauty blushes. This is Allie Glein's brand here on YouTube, and these are baked blushes. This is the one that I'm wearing today. It is so pretty. This one is one that can be built up more, so if you're intimidated by really bright colors and a lot of intensity, this is one that you don't have to worry about. This particular color is Paradise. She released 3 blushes. She also just released 3 lipsticks, the nudes, and I purchased all 3 because I really believe in Allie, and I want to have everything in her collection from her ground up because she and I have the same beauty aesthetic. But these blushes, there are 3, and this is Paradise that I have on today. Let's get into the meat of our discussion now. So I'm going to go through my collection of setting sprays and primers. So let's start with setting sprays. And I do have 2 drugstore options. The first, this I believe is my favorite setting spray in my entire collection. Affordable or high-end. So this is the Milani Make It Last setting spray. I feel like it really does make my makeup kind of just all blend together, and I honestly believe that it makes my makeup last longer. I've, as you can see, used so much of this with different foundations, different powders. It works with everything. It has a nice light floral scent, and the spray is nice, so I highly recommend this one. The next spray that I have is this e.l.f. spray. This is a new one from e.l.f. It's called the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. And you can see that it has 2 layers here. It has an oil in it, so you shake this before you use it. And in my routine, I use this if I feel like I just need a little bit of moisture before my application, or in between applications if I feel like things are getting kind of dry. I'll just do a light spray of this. This is brand new and you can see how much I've already used it. I don't believe that this would make your makeup last longer. I just believe that it's just a nice, hydrating, refreshing mist that you can apply to your skin. You can even apply it when you're not using makeup, just for a little refreshing mist. So this is one I like from e.l.f. The rest of these are high-end setting sprays. And the first one that I'd like to show you is the Rare Beauty. This is always an Optimist setting spray. You can see again how much I've used of this. This is not a spray that I would put on so much at the end of my makeup to set my makeup for a long day, as much as to just meld all of my products together and give me a nice hydrated natural finish. So I don't think that it makes the wear of your makeup last longer, but I do believe that it makes the makeup finish really nice. Again, this is one that you could use before you apply your makeup. You could use it in between makeup layers. I know a couple of influencers that put all of their wet products on and then use this before putting their dry products on, and then use this at the end again just to blend everything together. Sorry, I have an itch on my nose. This does not have a scent, and I highly recommend this if you don't need to really set your makeup down for a long day. Next, let's go over my Milk setting sprays. This is the Milk Pore Eclipse setting spray. And so this is definitely supposed to set your makeup in place. This is supposed to kind of mattify and blur your makeup. I use this in conjunction with the primer that you'll see in just a few minutes. This does have a little bit of an herbally, bitter scent to it. It has a very fine mist. I only have about that much of this left. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one as well. This one definitely will make your makeup last longer. The other Milk setting spray that I have is the Hydro Grip setting spray. This one does not have a scent that I can tell. It has a really fine mist. It doesn't feel like it's making my face dry, but it does feel like it's setting down my makeup. I feel like it works really well in conjunction with the primer that you'll see in a few minutes from Milk. And this is one of my top favorites in my makeup collection. I just feel like it's very effective, and I use it not only to meld my makeup together, as I always do at the end of every look, but also to set it in place for a long work day. Highly recommend Milk. A favorite of so many people is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This does have a nice light scent to it, doesn't last. The sprayer is very nice. Again, it does not feel like it dries my skin out. However, I do feel like my makeup is set for the day. And when I come home and I see myself in the mirror, I feel like my makeup looks the same as when I left the house. And so I feel like this is very effective, and I love this as a setting spray. So they have a sale right now at Sephora. You can get 2 of the minis, and I believe it ends up being less expensive per ounce than if you get one of the larger size. So if you do want to try this one out, there is a kit at Sephora now with these, but this is a favorite of so many people, and for good reason. I believe one of the very first setting sprays on the market was the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. This is just like it says, it sets you up for a long night, whether you're working or traveling or whatever. When you want your makeup to stay in place for a long time, this definitely does the trick. It has a very mild scent to it that goes away. The sprayer is not as fine as some of the rest of them, but in my opinion, it's not objectionable at all. I like that you have this cap and then you have this cap. So for me, this makes it really good for traveling because I feel like it's double protected. I also have this in a small travel size so that when I am traveling just for a few days, I could use that. So as far as this is an OG product, been around for a long time. There are a lot of different kinds of setting sprays that they've formulated after this one. This is just the one that I've stuck with because I've still got about this much left. It doesn't take very much, and it's taken me a long time to go through it. So after I finish this, I may dabble into some of their other setting sprays, but from what I understand, it's the same concept with all of these. So the original OG Urban Decay All-Nighter, definitely recommend. Lastly, for setting sprays, I have the Cali Ray. This is the Surf Proof setting spray, and this has a very nice mist on it. You actually get a lot of product in here, and the sprayer is not aggressive. However, it's focused enough that you don't feel like it's just going all over the room instead of on your face. So even though I've used a lot of this, I still have plenty left. So I feel like this is very well worth the money. And in my opinion, this setting spray is 50-50. 50% it melds my makeup into place, and 50% it sets it for the day. In my experience, this is a dual action setting spray. So I feel like I could use this in between layers of makeup to just freshen things up. I feel like I could use this at the end and get a nice long wear out of my makeup. And the Cali Ray, the whole Cali Ray line, I've really agreed with, and you'll see that primer a little bit later as well. But again, this is one of my favorites. So I would say out of all of the ones that I have in my collection, my favorite is definitely the Milani Make It Last setting spray. I would say that my second favorite is the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray. And then I think the Cali Ray, for me personally, is my third favorite. Again, I'm keeping all of these in my collection because I rotate them and I use them all for different reasons or just whatever I'm in the mood for that day. Let's go for eyeshadow primers now. This is the only glitter primer that I have. It is the NYX Glitter Primer. So if you are going to be putting glitter on that you've already done your base and you don't want glitter all over your face, if it's a formula that you know tends to have a lot of fallout, then you could apply this and then apply your glitter or your shiny metallic eyeshadows on top. Not only does it intensify the shine, it makes it last longer, and it also helps to prevent fallout on the rest of your face, either during application or for the rest of the day. So this is the only one that I have, and you use such a little amount of it that I still have so much left, and I just don't feel the need to get another one in my collection. You can always also use your setting spray, spray your brush after you've picked up some eyeshadow, and that will do the same thing. So if you're looking for one, this is affordable, it's easily accessible, and it's very effective. Next, for eyeshadow primers, this is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance eyeshadow primer. This particular eyeshadow primer, when you look at it, it looks kind of beige. When you apply it though, and you rub it in, it disappears, so it does not tint your eyelids at all. This dries very fast. It's already dry, but it doesn't get sticky dry. It's just a very nice texture that goes on your lids. And my eyeshadow goes over this really well. I don't have to set this with powder before I apply my eyeshadows. And again, no matter really what shadows I'm using, it just makes them last all day long. I feel like it also intensifies them a little bit. This does not irritate my eyes, and this is a favorite. Another OG, this is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. This is the Primer Potion. This is what the doe foot looks like. And here it is applied. as you can see, it appears again to be a beigey color, but it becomes transparent on your skin. This one doesn't dry down quite as fast as the Shadow Insurance does, but it does dry down and it leaves a beautiful base. It does not make your eyeshadows apply splotchy, and it also, in my opinion, makes your eyeshadows last really, really well. So you can see I kind of have a certain vibe with my eyeshadow primers. I don't like something that's going to give a lot of tint to my skin on my eyelids, but I want something that's going to dry fairly fast but not make my eyelids feel sticky. Probably, and I hate to say this, but this is probably the least favorite because it does not check those boxes from the other ones. This is the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer, and this one, again, it looks kind of beigey. It dries very quick, and if you apply too much of this, then your eyeshadow will not look good on it, and it is a little sticky to the touch. So I've tried this in several different ways to make it work for me because so many people say that it's their favorite. And I have been able to find the perfect way to make it work so that I'm very happy with it and I'm able to keep it in my collection. And that is to use the most minuscule amount. Do one eye at a time. I mean the tiniest dot. Put it on your finger and blend it immediately with your finger, and it dries before you can finish blending it. A lot of people, I see them apply quite a bit and then they blend it out, and I just think, wow, how does that work? Because I can't get it to work for me. I was so excited about this one because a lot of people love it, but for me, I just have to be very careful with it. Also, I went through a phase where I tried using powders over this, and that was a no-go. So I would not set the Rare Beauty with a powder personally, because I just felt like the powder adhered strangely and it didn't look good. I have one drugstore option, and that is the Milani eyeshadow primer. This, I believe, was the first. No, it was the Urban Decay was the first that I ever got. This, again, that beigey color eyeshadow primer. I really like the consistency of this. It's creamy, and you have so much time to work with it. It's just really creamy and lovely and nice, and I'm still able to work with it and play with it and mold it and really take my time with it. But when it sets down, your eyeshadow goes on top of it very well, and it's my favorite in my whole collection. Whether it's high-end or affordable, the Milani is my favorite eyeshadow primer in my collection. I have two more. This one is the NARS eyeshadow primer, and it appears white when you take it out of the tube, but then when you blend it out, it becomes transparent. This one is the closest in texture to the Milani. I'm still able to move it around and blend it, and it's still moldable, still able to work with it. So this one is the closest to the Milani in that texture that I really, really like. And again, I have no complaints with the performance of my eyeshadows when I'm using this as an eyeshadow primer. So I would have to call this a second place winner. Last of all, as far as eyeshadow primers, I have the Pat McGrath eyeshadow primer. And when I first got this, I really wasn't sure that I liked it. It goes on pretty clear. This bottle is glass and it's very luxurious. So I just wasn't sure it was doing anything. I couldn't see it go on. But again, it gives you plenty of time. It dries just a tad bit quicker than the NARS or the Milani, but it still gives you plenty of time. So I think because it went on clear, I wasn't so sure it was doing anything. But after using this for a while, I've discovered that my eyeshadows, no matter what I put on my eyes, whether it's liquid eyeshadows, crayon eyeshadows, powder eyeshadows, creams, it doesn't matter what, this really keeps them beautiful throughout the day. So the Pat McGrath would have to be third. Again, every one of these, except for the Rare Beauty, I really love. And the Rare Beauty, again, I've been able to find a way to make it work. But I just have to, you know, pay closer attention. Let's go to face primers now. So the very first high-end face primer that I ever purchased was the Tatcha. This is the Silk Canvas primer, and it's very luxurious packaging. It comes in a really nice box that I keep it in, and it has this little disc. So you unscrew the top, and then you can take this disc and you can swipe it in there, and then apply the primer to your face. And this makes your pores less, what do you call that word? They don't look as pory. That was stupid. But anyways, so this really helps with your pores to diminish the appearance of your pores. And also, I believe that it helps makeup to adhere to the parts of our face that typically it doesn't last as long. So when I'm using this, I will put a modest amount through here, above my lip, on my chin, and in the middle of my forehead. And I believe that this does minimize the appearance of pores. I don't have huge pores, so to speak, but I do believe that my makeup, no matter what foundation I'm using, looks more blurred on top of this. This has a scent that I really like. I can't really describe it, maybe a kind of herbally scent, but this was the very first high-end primer that I ever purchased, and I still have it, and I still love it. As soon as I found out that there was a liquid canvas product from Tatcha, I purchased this small amount because I have such a large container, but I was really curious about what this was about. So I'll swatch a little bit here on my hand. This is supposed to basically do the same thing, but it's supposed to be in a liquid form. And this has the same smell that the other has. And this feels so silky on my skin. And I just believe that it just gives a smooth canvas, basically, to my skin. So I'm very glad that I got the liquid to try in the baby size. And I like them both equally, and it just depends on what mood I'm in as to which one I use. This is from Huda Beauty. This is the Blur Jam, and it looks like jelly in here. I've been using this a lot, and that's what it looks like. And then when you apply it to your skin, it feels kind of like non-sticky jelly. It's a very unique, very special texture. This is what I'm wearing today on my face. And I just feel like this has a really unique texture to it. And again, I only apply this to the center of my face where I feel like I need a possibly a little more blurring, particularly with makeups that have a little bit more glowiness to them. And I don't want that glowiness to accentuate the oils in the middle of my face. So the Huda Beauty Blur Jam, I don't believe they're selling that anymore. There's a new one that they're replacing it with. So if you find it anywhere and you're interested, go ahead and purchase it. Next, this is the One Size Secure the Glow face primer. It has these little beads in it, and this is supposed to be a hydrating primer. That's what it looks like. So it has a little bit of tack to it, but not a lot. And these little beads, see how there's a little bead there? When you put them on your face, they kind of disappear. And to me, this feels like a hydrating. It's a thick, plush primer. And I feel like this would be ideal for folks with dry skin. It does dry down. Usually I put my primer on, let it wait a couple minutes before I apply foundation because I want to let it set really good. But this is super hydrating. It feels really good. There is a little bit of a tack to it, but it's not sticky in an uncomfortable way like some primers are. Next, the Cali Ray primer, the So Blown primer. I've used this probably down to here. I really love this stuff. So let's put some of this right here. This has a mild citrus scent. You can see that it is a liquid texture, and it has a nice cushiony feel on the skin. And this is a hydrating primer. See, so you can see how the blurring primers, how that kind of blurred the skin on this part of my hand, whereas these hydrating ones, they give me a little bit of glow and hydration. So this Cali Ray, once it dries down and it settles down, it does become more of a blurring, pore filling primer, but it's also very hydrating. And so I think that for someone maybe who is on the drier side, but still wants something pore blurring, I believe that this would work really, really well for you. This is one of my favorites in my whole collection. Next, let's talk about the Milk primers. This is the Pore Eclipse primer by Milk. I already showed you the setting spray that goes with this. So this goes on white, and you can see it's kind of creamy. It has a bitter smell, and the feeling of this is so luxurious. The way it glides across my skin, but you can see there's not a lot of glow to it. So this is a mattifying, pore blurring primer, but it doesn't have a lot of glow to it. And that's why I like this one so much. I don't feel like my skin is sticky, and I don't feel like it's dried out, but I feel like it's moisturized, but not too glowy. Pardon my sniffles. So this is the Hourglass Airbrush primer. I got a tiny one because I want to do an Hourglass makeup tutorial using all of the products in their line. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. So this is the Hourglass product, and the reason that I wanted to swatch this right after the Milk is because they're so similar in texture, and I wanted to really have my thoughts fresh. So this, very creamy, very hydrating, not a hint of stickiness. This one has a tiny hint of attack, but again, it feels so luxurious on the skin. I would say it just has that teeniest bit more tack. Again, though, it doesn't feel sticky at all. My other Milk primer, this is the Hydro Grip primer. There, that's what it looks like. I've used this so much, but look, you can hardly see any is gone. So this one is more of a sticky jelly consistency. And I like the smell of this. It's a nice fresh smell. So even though this is a stickier primer, this is not offensive to me like some primers are. I decluttered both of the e.l.f. primers because in my opinion, they are on the too sticky side for me. And e.l.f. was going for Milk when they did their primers, but Milk, I believe, got it a little bit better because it is still grippy, but it doesn't feel like there's glue on your face. And I really appreciate that, and I love the Milk. My very favorite primer in my entire stash is the NYX Plump Right Back Primer. And I love this because it's a hydrating, gripping primer. Let me put it right here. You could see kind of how sticky it was when I pulled the bottle away. So this is such a beautiful formulation. It feels so plush and rich, but at the same time it has just a little bit of tack to it. And oh my goodness, it just sets my makeup beautifully. A little bit of a glow and a little bit of a tack, but also a hydrating feel. They say that they put electrolytes in this, and so that's why it is so hydrating. I don't know what they did, but this is my favorite primer. High-end, affordable, my favorite primer ever. And finally, we have this little number here. This is the Milk, I don't know what they call it, Cloud Glow. So you have to shake this because this is a primer that comes out as a mousse. And I was just so curious. I had to try it. So you pump here and you can see it's a mousse. But you'll be able to see that very quickly the moussiness goes away. And so what you're left with when you blend it out is this very light, cooling, watery texture. And I believe that this would be just like a cool glass of water for dry skin. I'm not sure whether or not this would prolong the use of makeup, but if I'm using a foundation that I feel is a little drying on my face, I'll use this Milk because I feel like it just gives you a nice cool glass of water for your face. And I just think it's a cool little concept. Milk comes out with the neatest stuff like this, and I'm a fan of it. I just love it. Now let me get into my drawer because I forgot a couple of other products that I use as primers. First of all is this Saie primer. I can't remember what they call this, but it is kind of like a highlighter that you can put either under your makeup or on top of your makeup. So it's kind of creamy. I just use a little bit on the high points of my face, and it's kind of creamy, but when you blend it out, you can see this glow. So if you have really oily skin, you might not want to put this all over your face. I would think that this would look really good on your shoulders, on your chest, anywhere that you want just a little bit of extra glow. So sorry, I'm sweating. We turned our AC off. So for that kind of illuminating, glowy primer, I like that. And then how could we forget to mention the Charlotte Tilbury? Let's put some of this right here. So I forget, this is the Flawless Filter. Yes, that's right. Flawless Filter. So again, this you would apply either all over your face if you just want this beautiful, glowy look. You could put this all over your face. There's not a lot of coverage to it, but it just gives from every angle a really healthy, beautiful glow. So I would say, I don't want to use the word shiny because I don't feel like that's a great description for it, but it's a little more visible. The Charlotte Tilbury, in my opinion, is a little more subtle. The Saie, I think, comes in 2 shades. The Charlotte Tilbury comes in several different shades. And I can't tell, the writing is so small, but I'm guessing mine is kind of in a light medium shade. So those are my primers. I also told you that I wanted to share with you some of the products that I would like to get to complete my collection. So I'm new to this technology thing, but I'm going to try to put pictures up on the screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. The first one is the new, hold on, I need to dab my face. We thought, yeah, we can keep the air up. Yeah, keeping the air off is cool. But now with these lights, it's getting hot. So the first setting spray that I would like to add to my collection is the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin. And I'm going to read you some of the things that make me interested in it. First of all, it claims to have an ultra fine hydrating mist. It sets for 16 hours. It has a natural finish, but a barely there feel. It layers beautifully under makeup or between makeup. It softly sets, and it has skincare ingredients. So that's the Makeup by Mario setting spray. Next, I would like to try the LYS Beauty Skin Setting Spray. A couple of influencers recently have really mentioned how much they love this. So I looked it up. It's lightweight. It does lock your makeup in for a soft matte finish. It has skincare ingredients. It has a rejuvenating formula and soothing hydration. Doesn't that sound good? So yes, I'm going to try the LYS. 2 more setting sprays from independently owned brands. The first is M Cosmetics. Their setting spray is called Divine Water. It has a luxurious micro mist, milky orange blossom scent. I'm there for that. Skincare ingredients. It has a fresh, luminous finish. It's also refreshing and soothing. And get this, this is a bullet list that they have on their site. It hydrates, primes, sets, refreshes, melds, balances, diffuses, plumps, layers, strengthens skin. How can I turn that down? And I've seen some really good reviews for that one. And the people that I've watched said that that orange blossom scent is wonderful. The last setting spray I would like to add to my collection to even it out is the Vive Beauty. This is so cool. It's called the Invisiveil. Love these names. So this is ultra lightweight, yet 16-hour long wear with skincare ingredients. It's hydrating, transfer proof. It has an ultra fine mist. And what has me super intrigued is that it has an uplifting neroli scent. The people that have tried this have gone on and on about how they just want to spray this as a perfume, spray it around their house because the scent is so wonderful. So they had me right at that. As far as primers that I would like to try to round out my primer collection, there are also 4. I believe all of them you can get at Sephora. So first of all, the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer. It is supposed to be very similar to the Glowish Blur Jam that is being discontinued, that I really love. And I did try this on in store, and it has a similar consistency, but yet maybe even improved in my opinion. So I'm excited to try that. The claims are that it's jelly-like, it controls excess oils, it adds a smooth texture, blurs pores, mattifies, makes your skin look airbrushed, gives you a soft matte finish. Sorry. It's lightweight, long-lasting, refreshing, and cooling. I didn't remember when I tested it being cooling, but it was just on my hand, so I wasn't paying attention to that, but that really has me interested. Next is the newest primer from Milk. This is the Hydro Grip and Glow Primer. So I already have the original Hydro Grip Primer. This has a little bit of a glow to it. So it just kind of has two things that I love all in one. This is long wearing, illuminating, it grips your makeup for 12 hours, and it has a soft, radiant, golden hour glow finish. It has a lot of skincare. It says that it's 90% natural. So the golden hour glow. Some people don't like to look goldeny because of their particular skin tone. I would love to see what it looks like on me. So I'm going to try that. This is an older one. Martina. Oh, Teens, what's your last name? She's here on YouTube. She's one of my favorites. She recommends this one. It's the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. Comes in a little pot. This one's supposed to be blurring and filling and lightweight texture. It has a fresh powder scent, which I'm kind of, we could go either way about that. It's supposed to give you a blank canvas and enhance the look of your makeup and the wear time of your makeup. Martina uses this every day. Even if she uses other primers on other parts of her face, in the middle of her face, she always uses this. So I've decided to try it. Everything I've ever purchased that she's recommended, I've loved. Lastly, the Natasha Denona High Gen. This is going to be another little bit more on the glowy side, but I think it's going to be more cool than golden like the Milk. So this is lightweight and it's a serum, which I think is going to be super interesting. It has a dewy finish. It says it has 72 hours of continuous moisture. Not going to test that claim. Balances oil, looks natural, and get this, it gives you a transparent glass skin effect. I'm all over that. I've wanted this for a long time, but it is pricey, so I still have it on my want list. So these are my primer and setting spray collections, and I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to have to just make one video out of foundations because foundations, and as you can see back here, eyeshadows are my very favorite category of makeup. So next time we will do a foundation collection. I'm probably not going to declutter anything because my collection is new and I don't keep anything in my collection that I don't like. I either give it to a friend, return it, or just get rid of it. I just don't have the space to just keep stuff. So everything that you see, I like, and so you'll find out why. I sure hope you enjoyed this video. I have had fun just comparing all of my products again and just feeling how thankful I am that I'm able to enjoy makeup as much as I do. This is my big hobby, and I'm so grateful and thankful for everything that I have, and I'm hoping that some of my insight will help you to make wise purchasing decisions, or even if I just entertain you, I'm happy to do that too. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend and everybody stay safe and go Gators. It's football season. Go Gators. All right. Bye-bye.